So this is AP Stats Quideo 1. The basic question is, in 1993, Forbes magazine reported the age and salary of the CEO of each of the top 59 small businesses. Here are the salary data rounded to the nearest $1,000. So we had to construct a histogram and then describe the shape, center, and spread of the distribution, also known as SOX. So what I did first is I made like a frequency chart, so I just broke it up into going up by 199, so I would have 5 to 7 bars in the histogram to make it easier to read. And then I did the frequency chart, well, not like a frequency chart, but like I just kind of like tallied up how many were in each range. So I got 6, 32, 10, 6, 4, and 1. And then I made my histogram, and then on the x-axis I did salary in thousands, and I went up in the same numbers that I used in my chart. And then I went up by frequency, and I went up by threes. And so we see that the data set in the salary of thousands is skewed right. There are no apparent outliers. The median is $350,000. The minimum is $21,000. The first quartile amount is $250,000, and the third quartile amount is $543,000, and the maximum amount is $1,103,000. To get the median and the quartiles, I actually put it into my calculator and constructed it to a box plot because it was easier to figure out the quartiles and the median. And so question 2, which is the advanced question, says in 1864 a published paper provided chest measurements in inches of 5,738 militiamen. The table below summarizes the data, and then the chest sizes go from 33 to 48 inches, and then the counts all add up to 5,738. We need to make a histogram again, so I went up and made a chart again to make it easier. So I would have 5 histogram bars, and I went up by threes, but I didn't go up starting at 33 and ending at 48 because it would be uneven and I wouldn't have as many bars. So I started lower, and then I just added up the counts that would fit in each little group. And then, sorry, my brother and sister are really annoying. So then I made a histogram of chest sizes going up, and then I made the x-axis go up by 200s, and so, oh, one second, I realized I wrote the wrong number. So then I made the histogram, and the question B also asked for the SOX, which is the shape, center, spread, outliers, and then it also asked why the information might have been useful. And I wrote, the data set regarding chest sizes in inches of 5,738 Scottish militiamen is approximately normal because it does like the whole, this kind of thing. I forgot what that's called, like the area under the curve, like, yeah, that stuff. So I did that, so I wouldn't have to use the 5-number summary. The median chest size is 40.5 inches, and it's useful information for figuring out uniform sizes since they're militiamen and they need to have like militia uniforms. So. And then question 3. So that's the AP question. So the question says, as a part of the United States Department of Agriculture super dump cleanup efforts in the early 1990s, various sites in the country were targeted for cleanup. 3 of the targeted sites, River X, River Y, and River Z, had become contaminated with pesticides because they were located near abandoned pesticide dump sites. Measurements of the concentration of aldrin, a commonly used pesticide, were taken at 20 randomly selected locations in each river not near the dump sites. Sorry, I can't talk. The box plots shown below display the 5-number summaries for the concentrations in parts per million ppm of aldrin for the 20 locations that were sampled in each of the 3 rivers. So this is the box plot. And question letter A, I guess. Compare the distributions of the concentration of aldrin among the 3 rivers. I wrote, River Z had the smallest spread with a minimum of 3 ppm and a maximum of 5.1 ppm. River X had the widest spread with a minimum of 3.4 ppm and a maximum of 8.7 ppm. That means that River X's concentration of aldrin varies more than River Y, and River Z's concentrations vary the least. The median for all 3 rivers is around 4.2 to 5.1 ppm. There are no apparent outliers or gaps in any of the data. River X received the most pesticide. And then I had to make a stem plot for River X. So for the stem plot, you're supposed to take, like, I believe it's called the tree, which is like this number, like the number before the decimal. I can't think, so I can't even think of what that's called. I guess like the ones place, I suppose. Like, I don't know. You guys know what I mean. And that's called the tree. And then like the decimal is called the leaf. So you construct it by putting the tree and then all the numbers that start with 3, you put their decimal place there. So then you can, so like if you turned it, like it would look like a histogram or a bar graph, so you can like kind of tell it that way, like this shape. So I did that, and then we see that any number that starts with 4 has the most numbers, it occurs the most. So yeah, I did that. And this was for River X. And then question C says, describe a characteristic of the distribution of aldrin concentrations in River X that can be seen in the stem plot but cannot be seen in the box plot. So I wrote, in the stem plot of River X's data, there was a gap in the data. The data is skewed right, which wasn't as noticeable from the box plots. And yeah, that's about it. So, thanks guys.